And let me tell you today about Savo. Now, not Savo the way you know us. If you've seen our buildings, that's good. If you've lived in our apartments, that's good. If you've invested with us, that's good. But Savo is just not that. We are the bold who change the world. We have bold characters. We have bold Savorites who go beyond the measures of what is proven to be possible. And so you have seen the life of Savo. The last 8 years, we have shaken the world of real estate. We have gone into the market and just, made what seemed impossible possible. We have brought affordable investments here in Kenya. From as little as 30,000 a month, you can actually own an apartment within Nairobi. Who thought that could be possible? I mean, growing up, we all knew real estate ni ya wale wa juu. Sisi tunajenga ka home ownership. And so we have made that possible. We have shown you that lifestyle can be a different perspective, that you're just not letting into our apartments, but you're getting into a community where you will become something great. And of course, when we start this journey of being great and being bold who change the world, we want you to be part of it. As we celebrate these 8 years of existence, we want you to be part of it. We want you to shake the boundaries and actually make things greater by being bold, and be the bold who change the world. I am Martha Inyuma, and we are the bold who change the world.
All right, a very good evening to you wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome to Savo. Savo, we are a real estate investment company, and we're passionate about financial independence, retire early, and we exist to enable investors and people like you to achieve financial independence and be able to retire early. And so why we are here today, today we'll be having a conversation on the dangers of using technology or adopting to technology, which has been a series. This is the third part of the series that we've been having on technology and investing. My name is MC Benmegwe, the Classic Man, and I'll be your host tonight. And I'm joined by a gentleman here. I'll allow him to introduce himself.
Thank you for having me once again. My name is Alfred Minor, and I'm a fire partner within Savo.
Wow.
Yes.
So before we go any further, I'd like us to pray. So kindly lead us in our word of prayer.
Thank you. Let's pray. Dear loving and ever-living God, we come before you this time of the hour, oh dear Lord. I want to thank you for the gift of life. I want to thank you for the gift of this opportunity to talk about time that is passionate to us and to our investors. And we hope that at the end of it all, we may all live here a bit knowledgeable in the matter that you're going to talk about. For in Jesus' name, we do pray, trust, and believe.
Amen. So if you're new here, please make sure that you subscribe. We have a lot of informative content for you. And we do webinars every week on Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And just join the community. And if also you haven't subscribed to our weekly site updates, I think it is very important that in the era that we are living, as much as you would like to see to invest with us, it is good as you're doing your due diligence to follow through to see when we say that we are building, we are enabling our investors achieve FIRE through affordable, amazing apartments. Are we able to do that? And so before we go any further, I'd like to just keep us posted on what is happening within the Savo ecosystem. Yeah, so next week on Thursday, that is the 19th to the 22nd, from Thursday to Sunday, we'll be at KICC for the Homes Expo. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to make time. If you have been following us and you like to interact with us, please make sure that you come. We'll be there. All our fire partners will be there, and they'll be more than willing to help you get started on your financial independence journey. And also watch out for a new project which is coming up very soon. And so kama ulikuwa umesema wacha nijipange kidogo, this will be an opportunity for you. So Mr. Alfred.
Yes, sir.
Now you know you people who wear specs and IT.
I will hack you.
You will hack me.
I will hack you.
Today we'll be talking about the dangers of adapting to technology.
Yes.
And it has been we have been building up on this subject of technology and investing for quite a while now. And last week we were talking about how Savo is adapting to technology. I don't know, maybe for some of the people who are joining us today for the very first time, maybe we could do a recap before we dive into our topic for today.
Yeah, for sure. I think this has been the third series of the webinar. We started off with the first webinar talking about the history, so that you can get a backstory about, from where we began as human beings. I think we have the same kind of notion that I think anything created by man is technology.
Yes.
And so we went on from those prehistoric ages to up to right now, both in terms of everyday technology and also in terms of finance, how it has evolved in and around technology. I think, and as of the second webinar, many questions around, okay, now we've got, the history and how we've got here, but how is you, Savo, using technology? I think we kind of enumerated what we do with it. So it's whether it's in terms of your onboarding to ensure that your details are put safely, whether conversations are kept in tandem, so that your fire partners can be able to catch up and continue conversations properly. You give us, you'll send us your due diligence details for lease creations and such things. All that part up to your first payment, it's a whole use of systems and customer relationship management systems that are robust enough to ensure that, that track from all the way that the very first time that you reached out to us, that you are able to be taken through everything that is involved in the onboarding process. So whether it's the subsequent payments and you getting your receipts and your statements, and you knowing this is where I've got at in terms of my payment, this is what I'm left at to ensure that I start receiving my rent, that process is all enabled with the help of a very robust ERP system. And of course it's after you finish off with your payments, that the rent that you're going to get after that, it's all courtesy of technology and using property management systems, whereby you're able to link you with your residents, and you're able to get your monies on time. I think other than just that process, we talked about how we use it in construction to just ensure that, if we've promised it is 24 months or 30 months of construction, we are using the latest technologies in construction to ensure that happens within that time. It's not just brick and mortar, as we said, and it is a whole lot of data and insights to ensure we're using the latest technology that continues to ensure the foundations of constructions are met, but we're adapting quickly to it, and ensuring that we're giving you the building the time that you said you're going to give it to you, and the building is going to ensure that you get to your financial independence. So yes, I think in that whole ecosystem, that whole life cycle, we are adapting to tech, and it is knowing that we are not there yet. It's because wherever you are yesterday and wherever you are now, those are two different days in terms of technology. Quite a lot of things are happening, and so it is, I think, it is on us to continue to keep up and to ensure that all we're doing, especially in terms of technology, is to ensure that our investors get to their financial independence.
Yeah, truly. I think you summarized it very well, the whole conversation. And it's about us adapting technology to enable our investors to achieve financial independence.
Certainly.
And now from the definition of technology, we talked about technology being anything that makes it easy for you to do anything.
And quickly. Yes.
It's more efficient.
Yes.
And last week there was a question from where we closed it. There was a question by Alicia. I hope she's joining us today. So Alicia had asked the question, we've seen big corporations being attacked and hacked, and how can we best protect ourselves, and how is Savo protected? And I'm aware this is Cyber Security Awareness Month.
Yes, October.
Yeah, it's October. Maybe you can highlight some of the things that you IT experts and cyber whatever
hackers.
Yeah, so maybe we can start the conversation from there. Even like, why do I need to be aware of cyber security? What is cyber security even in the first place?
Definitely. Yes, I think what formed the basis of this webinar is questions as many as the ones that we got around, how people can secure themselves, what are the dangers, and how people can secure themselves, either as organizations or as individuals in in their digital spaces, and more so in their financial digital spaces, isn't it?
Yes.
And yes, this is a cybersecurity awareness month. It's whenever such terms are thrown out, it's a thought that this is an IT expert thing and it doesn't involve me. Wacha wafanye maneno yao, mimi, it doesn't involve me. But this month essentially is there to ensure that we are all aware of the threats that are there. We are all aware of what we need to do, because as we're saying, the more we adapt to technology, the more we rely on it, the more we're exposed to like the perils around it. And so, and the perils around it are in form of very many things, yeah? They are what we call, ideally, like cyber threats. Cyber threats are all those dangers that are, put out there by malicious people, by, said, technology is all about the good, the bad, and the evil. And as I said, just in that simple definition, it's as if the two negative adjectives and just one. So they're ideally all those, traps that are out there to steal your data, to steal your information, to ideally, mimic you and ideally all manner of evil, just around things that you cannot physically touch. And so when you're talking about cyber, just as a definition, it's everything that has come up as a result of the internet, as a result of the World Wide Web. So, and as we're saying, with the numerous accounts that we've added, I think as we're saying, majority on average, I think it's everyone having like 100 accounts online, and that is a whole digital you that has been formed out there. So that is one of the the perils around technology. We are also having a whole lot of kind of an information overload. So by that I mean that we've been bombarded with quite a lot. Kitambo, we used to go just to libraries, and the more time you spent there, the more you learned. But right now, with a simple phone, with a simple webinar like this, all manner of social media that is there, a lot is being fed to you, and a lot of it is information, a lot of it is misinformation, a lot of it is disinformation. So quite a lot is happening, and you don't even know what is the truth. I think as well, just in terms of what are the threats out there, it's a whole lot of concerns around data privacy. As we said, will that digital self, that digital MC Ben that is out there, you do not want to expose yourself, the same way that you can come to work, go to public places, you still want your space once you go home, where you are probably in your natural self. So it's the same way with our digital space, that yes, you have put your information out there, but you still do not want much of it to be exposed. So with all those concerns, I think it is saying that that all that is out there, and ideally it is, as we're saying, it's not an IT guru's thing. It's not an IT, your IT department will sort that. It is all of us ensuring that we are aware of all these threats, and as much as aware, knowing that it is also easy to secure and safeguard your spaces, your digital spaces, and as I'm saying, more so your financial digital spaces. So the month is about just ensuring that you are having the tools, you're having the knowledge to ensure that you're safe in that aspect.
Okay, interesting. Now, as you were talking about security, because you have all these accounts, and talking about cyber security and threats from malicious people. I don't know whether this has ever happened to you. I'm not sure whether that is a cyber security threat. Someone call you, hey, hello, my name, this is KCB calling.
Yes.
ABCD. So we have changed your account. Can you check whether there's a code we have sent you? I don't know whether that accrues to something to do with cybersecurity. Absolutely. We are the famously known as committee prisoners, that are always calling you, telling you that I work for so and so, and
all that is ideally in an attempt called social engineering. Someone who will try and fake and try and get information from you,
Yes.
and you'll always find them asking for your private information. There's something that is you and you that know.
Yeah.
So that as well, that has always been a threat, and so it is. How do you ensure that you do not fall into such scams? So I think that will form part of our discussions as well.
Wonderful. It is interesting because this is more relatable.
Yes.
When people hear cybersecurity,
They think it's a guy with specs that is
with
within
specs
so
that
many
is
machines and saying done.
yeah, and
Yes.
most people will tell you that when you're in archives and hear someone say, it is your turn to just find your route home.
Yeah, there you turn,
Because
there you
the
turn.
next thing you might be waking up at, at Kajiado or something, not knowing
outside the
what you need.
vicinity, yes.
Yeah, so I'm really excited and looking forward to our conversation.
Yeah.
And just to look at who's joining us, I can see Andrew Waitito, and I can see Alicia. Alicia is here, and she says thanks for remembering that question in waiting. So we'll be getting to answer your question. Meanwhile, please make sure that you share the link. I hope you're getting a lot of information from here. So if this is actually helpful to you, please make sure that you share. Ukona status, let people join in and let people learn, so that we ensure that even in this cybersecurity month, that more people are educated, so that people don't fall into traps of people who are very malicious.
Yes.
Anyway, so let's get into the conversation, and I want to let's look at cybersecurity and some of the threats in regard now to finance and investing. What are some of the dangers that we can anticipate to come across, especially when it comes to technology and finance? Yeah, because that is the space that we are in.
Yeah. I think you've aptly put it, talking about the scenarios around people who will catcall you in the streets of Nairobi, and if you dare give them a chance, you do not know how you'll end up to where you'll end up.
Yeah.
I think those kind of threats are mimicked within the internet and within the cyber world.
Yes.
And so let me also give you a scenario. You will find texts around, you'll find messages around, this is my teacher's phone number. I am asking for a geometrical set, and I'm about to do an exam. Please send this so that they can buy.
Every time,
Yes.
I wonder how many kids I have right now.
How many geometrical sets?
I'm being told we have a trip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Or the very famous brothers from West Africa who are known to, I have all this money that I need to offload in Western Union, and I need a bit of money so that I'm able to release it,
And
or to send it to you to withdraw.
And this other one, my name is Dr. Patricia. I'm single.
Yes, I work with so and so NGOs. Exactly. So you see, it's all those things being mimicked into that world, and I think all they're doing is something we call phishing.
Yes.
Look at it as how you'd go fishing in a lake or a pond, where you have a bait and you have a hook, and you're patiently waiting for someone to come to, a fish to come and bite that small piece of meat, while it is going to be the piece of meat once it is
lunch. It doesn't know it's lunch.
Exactly. So one of the major dangers around it, especially right now, we call them phishing attacks. And now, in the cyber world, it is PHISH, phishing attacks. So and as I said, that's whatever happens in real life is what is mimicked within the cyber.
Yes.
So you'll find texts or emails or things within sites that are telling you to click something or to download something that some kind of feels legitimate. But ideally, all it wants is to get data from you that it wouldn't have got in a legitimate way.
Yes.
So whether it is your own personal information or your banking details, all that. So that is one of the ways, and I'm sure we'll discuss how do I protect myself against that. So that is one of the major ways.
So I think talking about phishing attacks, it seems it's a common experience for most of us.
Yeah.
Please make sure that you share your experience,
Yes.
so that at least as iron sharpens iron,
Yes.
so we can sharpen one another, that we don't fall into the same traps. So
Yeah.
please feel free to share some of your experiences with the phishing attacks that we are talking about.
It's fishing, my friends.
Oh God. Phishing attack.
Yes.
But the pronunciation, the spelling is
PHISH. So
Oh.
you say the same thing as your normal fishing in the
but
ocean.
now with a
It's a
P.
PH at the start. Yes.
Oh goodness.
Yes.
Now-
Every day is a learning day. Don't worry.
Anyway,
Yes.
let's move forward.
So yes, I think other than that, we have the most common ones are around call them malware and ransomware. They feel like big terms, but ideally it's just your typical, what we call viruses that I can find a certain program within or an application within my phone that I don't know who downloaded or where it came from,
Yes.
or within your work computers or laptop or personal computers. You're finding, I thought I downloaded this file. Why is it this one that came? We'll talk our happy. So all those are in an attempt to try and ideally it infects the device that you have, and by infect it like takes control of it so much so that you might end up not even having ability to use it. And I think right now, especially with institutions, there's a whole lot of ransomware attacks, and by that, these are let's just call them viruses that are able to come and pick up all your data and hide them in such a way that you're not able to read them, and it's only them that have the key to how you're going to be able to access it. And so what do? They just tell you that I am in control. They have not just stolen, they have it. It's a thief that is that brave to tell you that I'm the one who has it, but pay me to release it to you.
At ransom.
Yes, exactly as it is. So that is one of the threats that are facing our institutions.
Yes.
But I think as we grow, as our investors or whatever people may be having their own organizations, those are some of the things that they may be worried about. Yes.
I hope you came with your notebook. Personally, I'm learning a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, I'm sure that the live webinar will be there on YouTube for much more. Yes,
for more
posterity's learning. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think other than that, we have a lot of data breaches. So by data breaches, we've I think over the course of this year, we've had quite a number of our local institutions whereby you've had their data is out there.
Yes.
It's somewhere in the dark web. It's just been spilled out somewhere in the public. And these are breaches whereby, as you're saying, if, for example, a particular ransomware affects you and you refuse to pay. So these guys are like, okay, if I'm not going to get money out of it, let me release it to the public. Hata ujitafutia yako huko. So, those are the kind of issues that are kind of affecting us. And I think in terms of individuals,
yes.
it's in such a way that you may have your banking details that are in places. You're the kind to put your financial statements and your invoices in a particular place.
Yes.
All those documents in a somewhere within your computer, but things around. These are my title deed. These are my leases. These everything that I own that is in a digital space that is not on paper. But what about when someone releases it and just out in the public for people to come and see? So imagine it as your ID, your passport having fallen in the streets and unapata kama wengine wanaiona huyu ni nani.
And people can use it to actually.
Yes, they're like, let me take a photo of it and I have seen your particular card details and such things.
Yeah.
So I think that's another common that is there.
And it has become common, especially in our country.
Definitely.
Nowadays, I think there are more cases. We only used to see of them in movies, but I think right now the cases are rising in Kenya. So I think it's something that we need to be on the lookout.
Yes, definitely. I think something else that is also rising is identity theft. So you've been in for the guys especially on social media, where you'll find a question that tells people about what was the pet your pet name, the pet name of your dog when you're growing up. And you'll go there feeling, because it has a bit of nostalgia.
Yeah.
You know, which town were you born in? Represent your town. You know, very random person asking, but you'll find people asking. So look at it in terms of place where someone is just getting information about, curating information about you. You'll go there saying, my name is MC Ben Migwe. All right, okay. Let's represent your school. You've put in your school. You've gone there, you've talked about, represent your shags. You've put in your shag's name. You've, hey, how many guys have pets at home? There you are.
Your best family photo.
Yes. Oh, you're like, which people born in this year, particular year, raise your hand up. There you are. And mind you, these are for when we're talking about like passwords that you create and such things, you'll find your mind moving towards relatable names, relatable numbers in creation of passwords.
Yes.
I am very certain that quite a number of us have your last name or your first name with an @ sign and the year that you were born as a password, and that is as simple as that. And so that is a way that people are able to steal your identity with information that you readily gave out. So that is a way that that is always that has been there.
Yeah.
So yes, as you're saying, those are the common ones, and there's still more. Yes.
And I think this has become a trend, especially on Instagram. So I wonder whether people have been fetching a lot of data.
Yes.
So you're told, July babies.
July
your best
babies.
photo here.
There you are.
And there you go, your best family photo. So there are people who are actually observing
and picking up that publicly available data. No one will say that I stole it from you. Gave me.
Ogopa.
Nikubaya.
Which now I think from the definition of cybersecurity, I think it makes a lot of sense that because there's the internet and everything that is there are so many risks that come along with that, and you find yourself exposed whether you know or you don't know. I think this is quite informative. If you're getting helped, you're getting more knowledge, please make sure that you share the link to at least people. Let them come and learn. Also feel free to ask your questions, which we'll be getting to answer in this webinar.
Yeah. So I think as we proceed, you're saying the dangers are so many. They're out there, but we want that by the end of this webinar, we do not feel fear, but we feel equipped. And so I'm sure we'll get to that point. But I think one of the other things that, especially around the digital space, are about mobile apps that we install. All of us have, places that you bank with, places that you invest with, that have, made it easier for you to get, to access your investments and to access your finances. You'll find replicas of those applications in other sites other than what is designated by your phone, and those are the dangers. That it is so hard to even try and distinguish the difference, or find the difference between what is legit and what is not. And so imagine you're in a place where you are, banking with a certain bank, and of course, when you're signing up with, for mobile application. Kind of mobile money transfers, it will ask you for all your account details, for you to easily access. But imagine putting all that in a fake form, a fake application. Those are kind of the dangers out there. I think, and one that is just largely out there is about the passwords that we use. I think passwords are just to put it out there, they're the gates, they're the padlocks, they're the locks to our digital lives. We there is where you live, but everyone knows where you live, but not everyone accesses it, because it is only you who has the key. So in that same space, it is how good is your padlock, how good is your key. And so you'll find it, you might think that it is so easy to that passwords are, I don't now care which passwords I use and all that, but by weak passwords, you're talking about passwords that only, as you said, only have your name and your date of your year of birth. You might find scenarios where, as you said, with 100 accounts, average accounts that we have, you've probably used the same password just to try and because it's hard to remember. It's hard to remember. Nobody should be able to remember. You've been told to have complex passwords here, but at the same time, your number of accounts are increasing.
Yes.
So I think that is one major space where people are being, where the dangers are, and it's also in a space where, as we're saying, the accounts are increasing,
yes,
and people are quietly waiting to just try and guess. As we're saying, people know you where you live.
Yes.
I can come with a different key every day, patiently waiting for the one that will unlock. Yeah. Yes. So ideally, that's the same thing that is mimicking there. And so weak passwords are something that, whether it's our own personal lives, whether it's in organizations, that is also a danger whenever you have weak passwords.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want us to go, like us to go on a short break. There's a video which is playing, one of the highlights that we've had as Savo. Last week we were breaking ground for Savo Premier, and I'd like us to take a short break, enjoy this video, and then we'll be back to still answer some of the questions that we have. Enjoy.
I declare this land broken in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Everybody say amen.
Hello again, Savorites. So we are here, Savo Premier, Savo in the city, one of our best locations so far. And in terms of passive income, this is where you need to be. So 1 month and we have all the units sold out. So I think this is one of our greatest achievement. Many more to come, and we would like to encourage you, if you haven't started your journey towards financial independence, please do so. Yeah, so remember, FIRE is financial independence, retire early. Yeah, so as passive as what? As passive as Savo.
Yeah, I think this is amazing, and we are really grateful to God to be here. Of course, we didn't think we would be here in the city now, but we're grateful that God has opened this opportunity, that we are just a few minutes from Westlands, a few minutes from Ngara, and CBD literally. And you can live here and walk to your place of work without having to take matatus or Ubers. So yeah, we are very, very grateful for this location. And we're also grateful that we believe it's not the first and last, but we'll have more similar locations coming. So watch this space. I'm very sure very soon there'll be something else again around this kind of location. And all this is just God's doing. So we are very, very grateful. Our investors love it. I mean, this has been the fastest selling project, fully sold out in a month. Yeah, fully sold out in a month. So everything about this is just tick, tick, tick. And to be honest, as I was saying, it's truly a new frontier for us. So we are happy. We are happy that you investors accepted this. You've taken it well. And our prayer is that we will deliver, that we'll do a good job, that truly we will be good stewards of the trust that you and even God has given us here in Savo Premier.
My name is Abigail Wahome. I'm an architect in training, and I'm a part of the team that is going to be working on Savo Premier. I'm feeling very honored, but at the same time feeling very challenged. But I'm glad we started the whole process with a prayer, Psalms 91. I believe our team will do a really good job. We have a really great leader, and we'll be able to come through for the investors, for Savo as a whole, and just watch out for this space.
Tumejaribu mengi kufikiria, even when we decided we wanted to do something. Kuna a project that we had even put on the table. Drone, had paid to Kalipia Council, professionals approved. I think we had an approval for 12 floors. Then we were promised another 2 when we break the grounds. Na tumelipa na professional fees and all that, but somehow maybe that's not the way God wanted us to go. Those are some of those things that are not said.
I know who I am. Wave your hands, shout
And thank you for keeping waiting. So today's conversation is about the dangers of technology and adapting to technology. And we have been learning a lot from this young man here. His name is Alfred. And the conversation is not to instill fear, but to make you be thoroughly equipped so that even as these cyber threats come up, being that this is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, that we will be able to tackle some of the issues and be able to prevent most of the threats that will come our way. So I think we have a number of questions. That even as more keep coming, so that we can encourage more people to keep these questions coming. So we have Phil, who says cybersecurity in investments. How is my money protected? And we have Erika Mnagu, who says, how can I identify cyber attacks? Someone hacked my Facebook account and I haven't been able to get it back.
Yeah.
Man, sorry. I think I've also been.
Oh no.
Yeah. I've been a victim before. So, and then Simeon Nyachati says, what is the difference between a virus and a malware? So I don't know, are these some of the questions that we can answer, or maybe as we continue, they'll be answered in the...
Sure. I think as you've rightly put, it's not a session where you're meant to be, you live here scared of, even being online. But as you said, as per what the webinar is all about and what even the month is all guided towards, it's about ensuring that you equipped with all the tools, all the knowledge that is needed to ensure that you're able to to be safe, to be secure in that digital space. I'm sure the person or the lady whose Facebook account was hacked, and we're going to tackle it in terms of maybe what you can do to have access to it, and how to prevent future theft, because that is identity theft.
Yes.
But just to answer the question, that technical question around the difference between
a virus and a malware.
Yes. So malware is just like that umbrella term that talks about all the other with, and so virus is part of it, and virus is that small software that once it's within your device is able to, whether by self or by clicking, is able to do destruction, whether it's deleting files, whether it's replicating another software that is legitimate. That is what a virus is. But malware is that umbrella term that talks about, that has viruses within it. I think other forms of malware are things we call like adware. Adware are, you'll go to a certain site and you'll click an ad that seems legitimate, that is over there written that it's all about servo and passive investments. But once you click, it takes you to a very different site that has nothing to do with financial independence.
Yeah.
That is a type of adware. I think maybe last but not least is Trojans. Trojans are those malicious softwares or programs that look like legitimate programs, but once you install, they're able to do damage. They will look like a duck, and it will swim like a duck, and it will walk like a duck, but it is not the duck. And as I was saying, that's kind of the difference. One is just the umbrella name of the other.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I think now, since time is also running, there's this whole conversation. Financial independence first is to a person, because we are here to enable the investor achieve financial independence. But now, if the investor is hacked and the money is sabotaged, so they won't be able to get there fast. So, and we have seen
will kind of judge that conversation is to ensure that in as much as we put the attacks on a high pedestal, we're going to equally put the protection measures on the same or if not higher pedestal.
Yes.
And initially we talked about the phishing attacks, where it's about a bait, whether online or text or email, that ideally wants you to click and ideally ends up doing something malicious.
Yes.
So how you're able to protect yourself from it is, most of these happen on email or text. And
Yes.
so if you ever get a text that shows you, number one, how you're able to identify an email that is all about phishing you is that always has like a call to action that tells you click here for you to go to a different place. It will always tell you download this. Why am I downloading a document to change my password? Those type of things. You'll always find these guys who are doing it. I don't know who taught they know a whole lot of programming language, but the English language is where they stop at. So you'll find a whole lot of grammatical errors in the languages in how their wording of it is. Another way that you can be able to identify that such kind of attacks is the kind of email that has sent you the sender's email.
Yeah.
So you'll find a scenario where someone will send you an email, and from us our official emails are we'll always have that at savo.ke domain, or at lifestyle.ke domain.
Yes.
But then someone will send you something that has savo with an O, a zero instead of an O.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy to identify such, and so all you have to do is identify those key issues that that call to action, that thing about click here to do this or download this.
Yes.
Know that look out for those bad grammars, look out for that sender's email. But as all in all, if in doubt, do not click. That is my motto around the phishing attacks. If in doubt, do not click. Yes, and I think especially in terms of malware, what is needed to do, whether it's from a personal point of view or an organization's point of view, ensure that you have a very robust antivirus software for your machine or for your phone. These softwares are not just there. They run in the background to ensure that they're easily or regularly scanning and ensuring that whatever is out there, they're also up to date in such things. So whether it's in terms of that antivirus, that's something that is going to assist you be aware of this malware, as well as keeping up to date with softwares and applications. I'm sure for guys on iOS and guys on Android, your Apple and Android phones, you'll find your Play stores and your Google stores sending you app updates. They are not for nothing. Most of them are all about security updates, and if you ever read the fine print, they'll be read as bug fixes and such things. But that is what keeping your applications up to date will be all about. But at the same time, it's also avoiding to click links and files that ideally endanger you. So especially in those first two, those are the kind of things that we can be able to do to ensure that we are safe and we are secure, whether in our personal lives or in organizations.
Okay, so if you're in doubt, don't even dare.
Yes.
Don't even think about
click.
it.
Yes, just delete.
Wow.
Yes.
So I see a comment here from George Kabiru. He says, I think I might be a victim of a phishing attack. I clicked something on my laptop and has been acting fishy of late. I hope there was no pun intended.
Yes. Yes. I think to answer that viewer and the lady who raised issues around their social media accounts, if at all you end up clicking it and it's something that gets downloaded within your device, one of the things that you can do is just run your antivirus to ensure that it's clean. Number two is that is what will be able to pick up whatever malware has been downloaded and ideally clean it or quarantine it or delete it. Yes, and that's something that you can do.
And let me tell you today about Savo. Now, not Savo the way you know us. If you've seen our buildings, that's good. If you've lived in our apartments, that's good. If you've invested with us, that's good. But Savo is just not that. We are the bold who change the world. We have bold characters. We have bold Savorites who go beyond the measures of what is proven to be possible. And so you have seen the life of Savo. The last 8 years, we have shaken the world of real estate. We have gone into the market and just, made what seemed impossible possible. We have brought affordable investments here in Kenya. From as little as 30,000 a month, you can actually own an apartment within Nairobi. Who thought that could be possible? I mean, growing up, we all knew real estate ni ya wale wa juu. Sisi tunajenga ka home ownership. And so we have made that possible. We have shown you that lifestyle can be a different perspective, that you're just not letting into our apartments, but you're getting into a community where you will become something great. And of course, when we start this journey of being great and being bold who change the world, we want you to be part of it. As we celebrate these 8 years of existence, we want you to be part of it. We want you to shake the boundaries and actually make things greater by being bold, and be the bold who change the world. I am Martha Inyuma, and we are the bold who change the world.
Yes, I think as we're continuing the conversation around how to protect yourself, we were talking about how to help the lady whose Facebook account was hacked. I think that's in terms of identity theft, how they can do, and the person who thinks that they downloaded something fishy. So as you're saying, in case you ever download something that you feel is malicious, number one, do not click it even on that instance. Don't, maybe what you can best do is delete it from there. But if you've invested in a very good antivirus within your device, you'll find that it's going to be, you can be able to scan it, you can be able to scan it and have it looked at by magnified eyes and seen whether it's actually malicious or not, and what its intentions are. And I think your antivirus will be able to take the particular action that it thinks is best. And I think if at all your account is ever taken, you can always pick it up with your social media account support team and tell them legitimately what exactly it is, and ensure that you reach out to the right people as well, not to the wrong people, but also to prevent yourselves. I think this is where it's all going to be about. Ensure you do not give out your public details, as we were talking about, giving your ears, giving your pet names, giving your school names easily on the internet. Yes. But we talked about as well big passwords, how to ensure that your passwords are strong. I think this is one of the very, very biggest things that you can be able to do. So number one, around the passwords, you can be, they're easily, what do you call easily crackable or hackable passwords? These are passwords that have the longer it becomes, the more complex it is to guess it. The shorter it is, the easier it is to guess. So you have within your keyboards the ability to select letters, whether in capital or small letters. You have the ability to select numbers. You have the ability to select special characters, your @ signs, your backslash, your forward slash. I think a combination of all that and length can be able to ensure that it's not easy to guess your passwords. You have, as we said, 100 accounts that you may have. You want to have a unique password for all of them, but how do you remember all that? There are password managers that are readily available, whether open source or free or paid for, whereby you can be able to store those unique passwords. And how it operates is, all you need to remember is just that one master password, and that will be able to log in you to a vault that has your saved passwords, that can be able to ideally store. The good password managers are able to also kind of create the unique passwords that are needed for your sites. And I was saying all you need to do is to remember just that one. As well, also avoid the prompts in your browsers that tell you to save the passwords within your browsers. That is one of the easiest way to get hacked. If someone ever got hold of your device. So have strong passwords, have complex passwords, use password managers, and you've already made a huge step in terms of securing yourself.
Yeah. Interesting. And I think these are some of the measures that we have actually, because as you speak, these are the things that we do here at Tsavo.
Definitely. I think I told you at the start of the year that I'll probably be your biggest villain within the organization, in trying to just ensure that we are secure and ensure that we are also guided. And as you can see, these are just small measures that all we do is just scale up those individual measures that we can do to protect our individual selves to the organizations.
Yes.
So whether it's in terms of strong password policies, whether it's in terms of very robust antivirus systems, whether it's in terms of a lot of monitoring and proactive monitoring of our cybersecurity and our accounts. That is also in conjunction with the parties that we are working with, whether it's the banks and so on and so forth. So we're doing quite a lot within the organization to ensure that our investors' investments are safe.
Yes.
And that within the journey, in as much as we say technology is about how quick you can do it and how easily you can do it, it's also how safely you can do it. Yes.
And that brings us to Alicia's question about how is Tsavo actually ensuring that the investors' money is safe. So what are some of the measures that we have put in place to ensure that the investor is not losing their money? Because Warren Buffett says the rule number one of investing is never lose your money.
Yeah.
And the second rule is rule number one.
Rule number one.
Again, never lose.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as you've seen with the mitigation measures or those protective measures, cybersecurity is about different facets and different faces. That you patch here, you do this, and all that combines to one strong and secure cyberspace. And so for us, I think as an organization, it all stems from ensuring that the data that you give us, whether it's just in terms of your personal data, and is put in safe databases that are not easily hackable, and as you're saying, all those policies around passwords, around how people easily change their passwords, how your own fire partner is able to not easily access, that you're the ones that they gave your details, but it's also being bound by systems within internally that they're not able to do transactions on behalf of you. It's in such measures that we're able to protect our investors' investments, and I think even more than that is also within the sites, within the construction sites that we do have, that we're ensuring that the materials that come to site during construction, that they're all easily surveilled. That we are able to ensure that whatever we ordered is what we've received and it's what we're paying for, and able to have very secure systems around that space to just ensure that ideally, once an investor invests with us, it's in all those measures that we talked about that that an individual can use to protect themselves, that we've scaled up within the organization to ensure that money is never lost, that investment is never lost.
Yeah. Wow. I think that is well put, and we are almost coming to the close, and so I'd like to hear from you. What are the key things that you would like us to take home? Yeah.
So definitely, I think in the course of the last 3 weeks, we have talked a lot about technology and how it revolves around us. How we can be able to easily use it, how we can, the dangers around it, and as well how we can be able to protect ourselves. And especially this being a cybersecurity awareness month, I think the takeaway is, as a call to action to not fear it, but to embrace it. That it is there to stay, it is us to use it, but it is us to also equip ourselves with what is necessary in terms of maneuvering these very sometimes wavy technological kind of a call to also being empowered to to not fear, but to also embrace it and just try and learn the tricks and tips that we might have shared today. They're the ones that have been shared within our live the comments, and to also share this particular information, as I think information is power.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that was well put. Asante sana. I think this has been one of the most informative webinars so far in regards to tech and investment. Yeah. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are really grateful that you've been here with us. And it will be nice. I think we can do an article highlighting most of the conversations that we've had here, so that even you can refer to the content that you're able to get this and get that and apply it in your own life and in regards to technology and investing. So before we leave, just a reminder, we normally have weekly site updates here, and please, if you haven't subscribed, normally as the construction of the project is ongoing, we normally send site updates to just tell you where the project is at, what has been happening throughout the week. And thanks to technology now, that we are able to keep you posted and updated every single week. So our link will be sent in the description. So please make sure that you subscribe so that you can be updated every single week on Saturday. And also this coming week from Thursday, that is the 19th, to Sunday, the 22nd of October, will be at KICC at the Homes Expo. And if you want to come interact with our fire partners, get to learn what Savo is all about and what projects we have to offer, please make sure that you make your way to KICC. We'll be there, we'll be waiting for you. And lastly, we have a new baby coming up. So please be on the lookout. And if you haven't started your financial independence journey, a quote says, there's a famous Chinese quote, is it Japanese or Chinese? That the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time to do it is now. So please make sure that you visit our website, that is www.savo.ke, and get in touch with one of our fire partners who are able to guide you on how you can get started on your financial independence journey. It has been nice. It was nice having you here. My name is MC Benmigwe, the Classic Man. I've been your host, together with
Alfred Minor.
Yeah, and have a lovely evening. Thank you.
Savo.